Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast in another 2v2 matchup, this time between Mondragon and Paranoid, MYM versus EG's StrifeCrow and Axslav, and this promises to be a very interesting match. Apparently, this was taken directly from either Paranoid or Mondragon, so I can see their in-game chat, and so they are looking to see, you can actually read their strategies. So this is going to be a very interesting game as Mondragon and Paranoid plan what exactly they're going to do. Now, whenever you face a double Zerg in a 2v2 matchup, you have to always be wary of the rush. A Zerg player going for a 10 pool or perhaps 11 pool, very smart opening. Is he going to go for the double extractor actually? He might actually be trying to go for the double extractor, trading up that additional drone and then canceling both and getting into 12/10 food. So StrifeCrow trying to get as strong of an economy as he can already off the bat. Perhaps he'll go for a spawning pool in just a moment. And is that an overlord? No overlord yet. So he's going to go for a 12/10 spawning pool to start off this game. Meanwhile, back over here, Mondragon already getting up a spawning pool as well. Meanwhile, Paranoid looking to go for a 14 pool, I believe, as the game is now underway. So there are going to be a lot of Zerglings and a lot of harassment. We'll see how these players play. Axslav, unfortunately, has the much wider ramp, so force fields are not going to be very good for him at all. He's going to be forced to try to place down force fields any other way possible, perhaps getting the Cybernetics core, a Zealot here, and then sentries behind it, but that does make him weak to a Baneling bust. That pylon is in a very open position, and we'll see what happens in this particular matchup so far. We are getting gassed by Paranoid as well as this game now rolls on. There is already the spawning pool there, and an extractor is currently coming online as well. Apparently, there's some additional 2v2 players that Mondragon wants to bring on. And I'm trying not to read this chat, but it just is so interesting. Anyways, Zerglings now making their way and going to be coming down the ramp. And army-wise, we already have a decent number of Zerglings already on the move, both in the red and in the yellow. So there is going to be a battle of 6 Zerglings against 2. Those Zerglings, however, are going to be able to sneak by, but they should just run into the Zerglings of Paranoid in just a moment. So there you go. Already have 4 Zerglings back over here as this battle is going to rage on. 6 Zerglings versus 4 Zerglings and a queen, 6 Zerglings and a queen. And this is not looking good for Mondragon. Mondragon, I do not think he can really get that much damage as a Roach Warren is coming into play. So as that Roach Warren comes into play, and excuse me for just a moment. As that Roach Warren now comes into play, we should probably see a lot of Roaches coming in from StrifeCrow, which would be a very strong opening to counter the number of Zerglings, as long as he can save up those larvae and not overproduce on Zerglings. More Zerglings now coming out as well. Overlords of Mondragon does spot this, as the Zerglings are now going to be making their way up that ramp. A large number of Zerglings now outside the base, perhaps going to be trying to put some pressure, but it looks like Roaches are already out, and those Roaches with a base of 1 armor should be able to hold off against a fair number of Zerglings, as a swarm now attacks all at the same time. It looks like Roaches are going to be popping out, coming out, dealing that damage already. And the losses, as StrifeCrow doing a good job being able to fend off that attack there. It doesn't look like Paranoid or Mondragon will be successful at breaking StrifeCrow in his current position. He does have a lot of Roaches now, so Roaches being positioned in just a way so that those Roaches are able to fight back, get a lot of damage in. And now it looks like a 1 probe trying to make its way across the map, unable to do so. He wanted to perhaps place a proxy pylon in order to warp in some additional units. And now the Zerglings going after the pylon, trying to take it down. Cybernetics core currently just trying to research that warp gate. And there's the force field, nicely done by Axslav, preventing that pylon from going down there. The Zealot holding off a large number of units, but oh no, Banelings now coming in from behind, and those Banelings may be able to perhaps splash, and oh, there you go. You can see a nice force field there blocking it, but I believe the splash damage can still happen, and down goes the pylon. So the pylon stopping the research on the warp gate, and that is going to change things up heavily, as those buildings are not going to be able to change into that warp gate, and the timing on this could not be more perfect for Paranoid. Banelings wandering around on the inside. Zerglings now trying to fight back against a swarm of Zerglings here. The Roaches of StrifeCrow now trying to come in, but the Banelings may be able to find their target if lucky. There goes another Zealot there, and now perhaps some more probes. No more probes taken down, as the Roaches were able to fight that attack back, but the roaches, and now another pylon needs to be placed down. StrifeCrow actually blocking Axstaff from being able to warp in a pylon there, and it's going to be at least another 20 seconds before this Cybernetics Core starts that warp gate research. More Zerglings still funneling in. There are Zerglings of Mondragon in the base already, forcing StrifeCrow to perhaps move away with these roaches. These Zerglings may be able to catch some of those roaches off guard, out of position. There you go. There's a decent surround on those roaches. StrifeCrow is going to have a little bit of a problem as those Zerglings are just pecking away at the army. Another roach going to get taken down there, as now we see Zerglings from Paranoid running in and now being able to force a lot of these probes off. So roaches down over here, Zerglings still running across all over the map, and now a new army of Zerglings going to be coming into both places, and it looks like Axstaff in a bit of trouble as the Zerglings catching many of those probes off guard. Once again, the roaches and now just simply getting surrounded. The probes need to try to engage, but very, very difficult. A sentry trying to get a force field down, unable to do so. And now this is not looking good at all, as the Zerglings now just swarming through, finishing off all of the probes. And now Axstaff, I do not believe has any additional. Oh, he has 2 probes down over here, but this Nexus may get taken down rather quickly, as the Zerglings now are going to be in a little bit of a trouble. They're trying to mine away and unable to do so. Now more fresh Zerglings running straight into the base of StrifeCrow, and Axlab says GG. Axlab with no additional probes. The Zerglings going to finish this off over here, but it doesn't look like this game's ending just quite yet. StrifeCrow trying to hang on. He does have the largest army in this game so far at 850 total resources, but with an expansion going down both by Paranoid and Mondragon, it's looking like even if this game does go much longer, StrifeCrow is going to have a very, very difficult uphill battle to try and overcome. The Nexus now picked apart, and with no real way of warping in or getting any additional probes trained, StrifeCrow says GG as well. So double early Ling pressure with Banelings to follow give Mondragon and Paranoid game 1 in this best of 3 matchup. Stay tuned for game 2.